Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, talking a bit about this, but it's actually gonna be more of a tech video. I've had some issue with these. Now, if you're not aware of what this is an Acetech Volcano, and it is basically a tracer unit 40mm grenade launcher. So you put these inside here. I'll show you in here what's inside one of these guys, and these basically are pretty awesome. If I show you that there. These are pretty awesome because you can load them with BBs, you load them with a load of gas, and they fire out of one of these tracer volcano kind of launchers. And this has a tracer unit in here controlled by the buttons. Boom, kind of like explodes, lights up all the green tracer BBs you have in there. And I've been using this actually playing indoors as my secondary. So instead of having a pistol, I'll show you some clips of it, and you can go and look at some shorts or some of the gameplay video of where I play inside. But it is kind of overpowered. I do feel quite guilty sometimes using it. But basically, I'm using this basically as like a room clearer. Like if I'm going into an area or going like into a room or know where someone is, I can basically lead with this. As it now turns on, as you can see, I can lead with this and then it will clear everything. So sometimes I'll get taken out, but in terms of like clearing choke points, like this thing is pretty amazing. Now these shells are great because you can load them. I'll show you. Basically use one of these guys here to load them, and you can just drop this on the top, rotate it, and it basically will drop BBs into all of these. I'll see if I have a loaded one. I think I fired them all off when I played last night, but it'll load BBs in there. You push this little detent thing down, and then that basically, my camera's gone back into load mode. That basically will just like keep all of the BBs in place. And then, instead of like speed loading or whatever, I just drop this on the top, rotate that, drops BBs into it, and it's good to go. Gas it, you just fill the gas in the top here. And I've really, really liked it. Like I have to say, like in terms of, a shell and ease of use, it's been great. However, I had some issues last night, and I've had some issues yesterday when I was prepping to go and play for last night. And those issues were with it gas leaking. And so I would try and fill this, and I'll see if I can do one for you now that's going to leak. We'll see if... Okay, so that one's filling fine. Like you could hear it kind of like do its thing there. So this here, you can see here, I'm trying to basically fill it, and the gas is just coming out of the bottom here. And so I think that's going to be an issue with the O-rings in there. So what I'm going to do is basically take these apart in this video and then, basically put them back together. I did try and take one of these apart before I did the video, and there are a ton of ball bearings that just went everywhere. So I was a little bit concerned of like, what have I done? Have I broken this thing? These shells cost $42 each, so they're expensive. And if you break one, then obviously like that's $42 like down the drain, gone. I will put links for my Evike link, and also for Amazon down below. So if you want to buy one of these, please do go and click through that link because it pays a referral fee to the channel. And also I will put a link to this as well, which I love. I actually have put, just to give you an idea before I do this, a Novridge little speed loader holster on there, which you can get from Acetech. And then I took one of the Novridge holsters. I actually wear QLS mounts or a Safariland drop leg holster for all of my secondaries. So I found a way to print a QLS fork with like an attachment on it for this. And now that slips in there. I can basically just put that onto my Safariland QLS. I push my thumb here, and it means that I can pull this thing. Tried it out last night for the first time because if you've seen my videos before, you may have seen some of the workarounds I'd done to like have it in a holster. That worked way, way better. So I'm quite excited now because like I could draw that and re-index it so quickly. But obviously some of the shells ended up not working, and I carried like 6 shells with me, so it wasn't the biggest deal. But I do think I need to kind of resolve this. You can hear here, I took this one apart, and it's now making this shaking noise, and it actually just dropped a ball bearing, which isn't the biggest deal. I will find that after the video. It's not the biggest deal. Let's hear. If I can get it back. Hold on. Okay, so here's one of these ball bearings. As I said, it's not like the biggest problem because, well, it's annoying as hell, but they do give you a packet here which has O-rings in it and it has some ball bearings in it as well. So I have got some to replace, which should be great. This is... these are actually some of the wounds as well from last night. You can see like little red dots all over me. So if you see them, it's not like I've got issues. It's I was actually playing airsoft and I've got quite a lot. I've got a lot on my midriff because I got hit quite a lot last night, which isn't a good thing. But I started taking this apart. I was like, oh God, what have I done? And so I watched an Explosive Enterprise video and it kind of showed me how to put this thing back together. So I'm hoping that in this video, I'm going to take it apart, I'm going to lubricate it, and then we're going to put it back together and it's going to work and hold gas. We'll see if that happens. So join me on this journey and we'll figure out what's going on. So basically, I just need to remove this lower kind of piece. I've also, luckily for you guys, got my little setup here so you can actually see, you know, what I'm doing here. But I'll kind of start off here and just, actually, no, I won't. I'll start off here. So basically, you want to remove this cap. Another issue that I've had is sometimes after using this, this will stay like indented. And it's kind of like, how do I get it out? I've tried to push it. Because if you fill it with gas and it is in that indented state, it just leaks gas. So what I found is if you slightly unscrew this, it will sometimes pop out and then just re-screw it back down. If you fully take it off, the ball bearings are going to fly everywhere. So I'll show you here. This is one that I already opened and I think I've lost some ball bearings for it. But these things are going to be basically moving around freely inside. So you've got this, which is the valve knocker. So we'll put that here. This, I think, is a very good idea to have, is some kind of like container to put this stuff in. You're also going to have the spring. So I'm going to put that in there. And then we're also going to have the ball bearings, which you don't want to lose. But there's quite a few of them. And I did a little test run of like, how do I, let me bring this in closer so you guys can see it a bit better. I tried to do a test run of like, how do I actually like go about putting this back together. Let me just see if I can rotate this for you. Sorry for the camera. It's like an iPhone that I'm filming this with and it loves to do some like weird bits. Okay, so let me go there. Is that good? That should be good. So yeah, so basically it loves to lose these ball bearings. And as I said, in these packets, they do, when they come, give you one of these for each of the grenades you get. And so it's giving you not a full set, but also like quite a few of the ball bearings. So I'm going to put that there so we have it. And then a full set of O-rings. I think from the Explosive Enterprises video that I watched, it did show that like the O-rings can get quite a lot of wear and tear. So what I'm going to try and do now when I take this apart as well is just have a look inside and just see the quality of the O-rings. Like this one here, it actually looks okay. It doesn't look like we've got a big issues with this one. I'll put some lubricant on that. This is also the next step, which is we're going to kind of like unscrew this top part. And then that is going to be 3 pieces. So that's basically where all the BBs sit in here. So that is effectively just your valve, or sorry, your like cover there that's going to take the BB. So that shouldn't have any issue, or shouldn't have anything really to do with the gas. The gas is all going to be dependent on these pieces. And so on this piece here, we have the actual valve. We've got 2 O-rings here, one there, one there. I think the gas is sitting between this area. So really, I think these are going to be the O-rings which really matter in terms of the gas, as well as potentially this one's just going to seat it in. So I think we just need to be careful of like what I'm doing with those O-rings and putting them back together. But the main thing which I was freaked out by straight away was, how do I get these ball bearings back in? And hopefully we're going to be able to do that. But as I said, this is going to be a bit of a test for us, so we'll figure it out. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is we've got this apart, so it's in those pieces. We've got all of our kind of pieces together here. I'm going to now just grab this super lube. I've gone for the silicone one. I know it's not good to do silicon on metal to metal, or I've learnt that from you guys. Got some dirt on me. I've learnt that from you guys from the videos where I put some super lube silicon on some metal, and you definitely told me don't do that. So I'm going to use it on this rubber because I think that is the right thing to do. But let me know again if you think that's wrong. 1 second, I'm just going to pause it. Sorry, I was just getting a phone call. I think it was spam, so I'm going to leave it. Right, so that is that done. I'm now going to do these O-rings. So I've got one here, and I'm going to look on this because it's obviously leaking gas. And I presume that is either due to like the O-ring not being lubricated properly, or it's due to there's like an issue with the seal, so there's damage to the O-ring. I can't, as far as I can tell, see any damage. Let's put that on mute for you. I can't see any damage on this in terms of the like actual rubber seal here. I mean, we're going to close it back up, and the annoying thing is if it doesn't work properly, then we're gonna have to take it apart again, or I'll try it on another one and we'll see if we can do it on that. But I've got, I think, 4 of these out of the like 8 that, or sorry, maybe the 10 that I own are having leaking issues. So I don't know, it may be kind of like a design flaw with these. So just bear that in mind. Like, I think they're amazing in many ways, but it could be that I'm not necessarily like, they're amazing in a lot of ways, but there could be some like faults with it where you're just having to maintain it. Like the speed of like reloading is pretty great. So, okay, so I think we're good with that. What I'm going to do now is insert this in here, and I'm going to screw this guy down. Now this, I think, is going to be the main tricky part, which is going to be to get the ball bearings. And I want to empty these out because I think we're going to need them on other ones anyway. It's going to be getting these ball bearings in around this metal cylinder. So from what Explosive Enterprises showed me, it is putting the spring into this area here, into this little detent where you can see that little round piece inside. So I'm going to put that in there and seat it. I'm then going to take this, which is this valve knocker, and sit this in here. And then what I need to do is basically get these ball bearings to sit in and around this silver part. So I'm going to try not to have my fingers too slippery so it doesn't shoot off. But I'm now going to take these ball bearings and slightly angle this silver metal piece and then try and lay these all around it. And I thought that I had all the ball bearings from when I opened it up, but it appears like I didn't, because when I actually closed it, it didn't have all of the ball bearings in place, i.e. there was like a gap of 2 or 3 places. And in that gap, like when I closed it up again, I was like, okay, well, that's enough ball bearings to be in place. When I closed it back up again, it actually was rattling, and it wasn't doing that before. So you can see here, I'm basically just dropping these into this like little space. And I think the annoying thing is if I drop one into this gap, like this kind of black gap between where the threads are here, I'm going to have to start again. So I think we may just need one more of these. And it looks, yeah, so it looks there, like all of, like the entire way around, I've got ball bearings now. Okay, so this is the fiddly part, apparently. So what I really need to do is take a pen or something to push it down with, push this into place here, and then almost hold this down as I lower. And like already I'm getting an issue with ball bearings coming out of place. Okay, so then it's gone already. So we need to restart this again. Okay, so take 2. I'm going to pour all of this back into my container. So we've got no ball bearings in there. We're going to put the spring here. We're going to put this guy in here. As I've said in many of my videos, and you guys may be aware, I absolutely hate springs. Like, springs are, for me, like something invented by the devil. Like, they are just, like, whenever I need to use a spring. Okay, I've already dropped that into that gap, so we're going to have to go again. I will launch them off into places. I'll lose them for an hour. I'll be like, where is this spring gone? It's the one size spring that I need to put this back together, and I can't do it. Yeah, it's something that I absolutely hate, and I've just had very bad experiences with. Ball bearings could be the next one, we'll see. Yeah, this is going to be one of those things that you probably can't do in a hurry. And the other thing I would say is you probably are not going to be able to do it on the field very easily. Like, you may have a good little work zone in the safe zone of your field, but it's not exactly like if you're in an outdoor field, there's dust and dirt anywhere. You know, you need to make sure you're not dropping ball bearings. Then you need to make sure that you're not doing this there, and you may have to just be like, right, well, I can't use this for today. I'm gonna drop one into that gap. No, I think I just dropped one here. Yeah, you may just have to call it quits. So I would have some spare ones. It's definitely something I'd advise. Okay, so what I've just realized is if you push that down, it kind of locks it into place, and then you could just shake out the ones in the bottom that you've dropped. So again, I've done that. I'm just going to pull that out, but I have to like depress this actual valve before I do that. Okay, so I think now we have everything in place. It looks like we have everything in place. It almost feels like maybe I've got too many in here. Maybe I've got like one excess. It's like I've got enough to fill the space, but it feels like when I push it down, you can see here they're almost bulging out slightly. So what I might do is try and remove one. Yeah, it seems like I've got one too many. Okay, no, that went in. Okay, so that seems fine. I'm going to stick with that. So now what I need to do is basically put this through here. This is where you need like an extra set of hands. Get this. Remove that piece of plastic that was there. Almost sounds like I've got, okay, I've lost one in there, which is why that was sitting better. But I think I'm going to try and put this one back in again. Yeah, it's almost like there's just a kind of like an, okay, there we go. But it does sound like it's still shaking. Okay, that was almost because there's one out of place. So I need to just get this in. Okay, maybe let's just go to get one out. Okay, so that's one out. Sorry if you can't see it that well on this. So there's a small amount of noise, but I don't know if, I can't remember if that was a tiny amount of noise or as I push this down in, it's going to just, This is just not holding in nicely. I think I may have just chosen the wrong kind of item. Like this pen is just, almost wants something with just more grip on it. You can see there, it's just not fully. Okay, there we go. So that, I feel like this could also be one of those things where when you've done it, 100 times, you get used to it. Things if I release this as well. Okay, so I've just dropped 2 of those. If you release it, then these ball bearings could go flying everywhere. Oh, this is a nightmare. Okay, so I'm going to push these in. I've just dropped about 5 of these ball bearings now. Okay, so we're starting again. I'm trying to think what I can use as like a better thing to push this thing in. Because if I can find something that's better. No. I just need one more in here. You just need to seat it fully flat to get it down. Like, because every time I'm pushing it down, it's forcing one of these out. You see there, it's almost like there's not quite enough space. So 1 or 2 of them are just popping up. I think, again, it could be that I've got too many in here. So maybe let's go with like one less and just see if that helps us. I mean, it's very good that they've actually ended up putting extra ball bearings in. Imagine if they hadn't, this could have been like people just constantly breaking these or not able to repair them themselves. I feel like I just need one more, but we'll try it like this. We'll see if we can. Okay, and there it goes again. Start from the beginning. Okay, I lost 1 ball bearing down there, but because I've got extra, I'm going to leave it for now. I think like what else it probably doesn't help is because I've got lubricant on my hands, it's making them more slippy. And they're just like an annoying size as well. You know what's going to really annoy me is we get this back together and then it's still leaking gas. I'd rather just like throw them away and just buy a new one. But so the thing that gets me to buy these is the fast loading. Like, because I'm going into the safe zone and I'm using it as a secondary, I'm firing like 3 or 4 shells a game. And normal like 40mm, because that Volcano will work with regular standard 40mm grenades. Like anything that's a 40mm, a 40mm grenade will fit in it, and it will have that tracer functionality. Okay, so right now, guys, sorry I'm not showing you what I'm doing, but I'm trying to keep this thing depressed while getting these threads in. And I think when it gets to a certain level, it shouldn't be an issue in terms of the threads, in terms of the release of it, because I think we've done it. Okay, so that's making like no noise. So I think I just needed to put less in there. But basically, as I had that like pushed, I wanted to push it all the way to the bottom. And I think the issue that I've had is this pen here. It's just got like a curved edge. So I kind of want something which is just a bit more flat and less slippy. So, I mean, this now sounds perfect. It sounds like it should work. The moment of truth is going to be filling it with gas. So, and it's still leaking. So basically, I'm just getting gas coming straight out the bottom here. It's like it's venting through, yeah, through these spaces here, almost like around this valve base. So that's just not working. So let's try one more time. I'm going to try and keep this thing depressed again as we remove this. And that's what your issue is you can release it and shoot BBs everywhere, which I've just done. Again, it's not the biggest deal because I think I lost another 1 or 2 there. I do have spares. But if I wasn't making a video, then I would be hunting around for those with a lot more. Like I'd be looking and looking, which I'll do after the video. But the issue that we've got is like this. It seems like it's not this valve, it's not this O-ring. I think it's this one here. It seems like it's just coming down through this fine. And it's definitely coming out the bottom. So maybe let's try and replace this one. Need like a little, let's grab this. Let's grab this. Grab a little tiny flathead and just see if we can pull this out. So I think it's this one here. So I'm just going to pull this O-ring off. And again, it doesn't look like there's any issue with that O-ring. Like there's no like damage that I can see. So let's just get one more of these. Maybe it's just hardened a bit. Yeah, this is a new one. Get the super lube, we'll put some around here. So that's got some feel to it. Now this is going to be the harder bit, getting this back on. Okay, well that went on a lot easier. So I'm presuming that's the one that's going because it is venting out the bottom. Or that's where I'm feeling the coolness coming out. Now this thing's not having an issue. This will unscrew from here. There isn't an O, there is an O-ring there. Maybe we'll lube this guy up as well. But it seems like it's the same location where we're having the leaking. And that just kind of sits in place. That seems fine. This seems fine. Okay, let's go with this again. Put this here. Screw this guy into place to hold it in the right location. Okay, now we're going to go with my favorite part. Maybe I'll replace this one as well. Let's replace this guy as well. So that guy's there. Lubricate that up. That went on a lot nicer than it did. Came off. It's a lot more supple. Let's put it that way. Okay, so that is there. I'm going to put this guy here. I'm going to put this guy right here. Again, and now we'll start to do these ball bearings. Again, I can already feel my hands slipping, so I should really have a towel or something to do this with. Okay, so that's the perfect amount of ball bearings that I had left. So, shall we see if we have something else? Maybe try this pen. I think this could be a bit better. It's just such a slippy surface. Okay, so I'm just keeping that depressed in here, guys. This I think is better if you maybe like lay it down onto the top surface. Now my hands are so slippy that I can't grip the actual thread. Okay, so that's in there. Sounds like it's pretty solid. Maybe I'd want to put one more ball bearing in there, but let's try now and see. Yes. Okay, guys, so that now works. So I don't know exactly which ball bearing it was. I think it may have been the that bottom one, because what I've been doing is unscrewing that slightly, then like rescrewing it down, and I think that is what caused it to happen. And there is now no sound when it's filled with gas, because presumably that's like depressed now. If I push this button, let's just do a little, and there you go, makes the noise, does the launch. So that's now working, guys. Let's just reattach this again and just make sure that we're, yeah, so that's now working, guys, and that's holding gas. So there is my long way round, got you to the end there. That is how you are going to repair or kind of maintain these Acetech Acehives. As I said, $42. There'll be a link down below in the description. There's George. Hi, George. Sorry, mate. That probably scared him a little bit, so I shouldn't have done that. But that's how you're going to end up doing the maintenance of these. I'm now going to do it on 3 more of these, so it's going to take me a while. Just watch out for those ball bearings. And one tip I would say is make sure it's fully depressed down into the base of that. But thank you for being here for this journey, guys, and kind of like figuring out what to do. I hope you're good wherever you are. Any ideas for videos, put them down in the description below. See you soon. Bye-bye.